I got to see Independence Day with Will Smith. Nah, not with Will Smith. I got to see Independence Day Resurgence. Yeah. Now, dig this.
I mean, it's got Goldblum.
Yeah.
But the kids, oh man, I don't know if the kids love Goldblum.
The kids
are all running out of the house for the next Goldblum picture, you know?
Look, Independence Day Resurgence, 2 decades after... Gotta do the voice again. 2 decades after the first Independence Day invasion, Earth is faced with a new, extrasolar threat. As the 4th of July nears, satellite engineer David Levinson, that's Goldblum, David Levinson, investigates a 3,000-mile-wide mothership that's approaching Earth. And that's pretty much it. Like, the aliens came back.
Basically, all you need to know about this movie is
that... They came for revenge.
All you need to know is that Bill Pullman thing in the trailer when he's like, oh, they're coming back. That's the movie, right? That's the whole movie.
That is the whole freaking movie.
They're coming back. And he's got the beard. It looks like he hasn't, like, left his bedroom for, like... since the last film, basically. Yeah.
I will say the special effects in this movie was solid. Were on point.
They did look good. Yeah.
They had a $200 million budget, and $195 million of that went to the special effects.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
It's just it was like, seriously. There's scenes with the alien queen. I would swear. Like, that's a real thing, yo. They went out and they found some alien zoo.
The movie looks great, you know. Stuff blows up real good.
We finally got action from the aliens in their war like suits, in their battle gear.
Oh, so they step out
and stuff and coming out and snuffing cats and then using their blasters. This isn't just one dang. I appeared out of the hole in my ship and then got punched in the face.
Yeah, well, they got that one too. Like, it looks like a guy's like playing like Cell Crusher thing like that. He's playing that game.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
he's it's like that one alien on the computer. Like, that's the only other alien.
Well, Minesweeper is an intergalactic sensation. Yeah. I think
that's what he was playing. Yeah,
that's literally. But okay, I will say I had to get that out because that's the main positive thing I can say about this movie, man. Everything else was really forced. They ham-fisted this, predictable ass plot.
Yeah.
And it's like, the aliens are coming back. I can't imagine what they want. And then, have the government gotten smarter? No. Have we learned from our mistakes? No. Somehow there's world peace, but still, like, everything is preparing for war.
We did use their technology to make...
We used their outdated technology to ramp up our weapons. They came back with their own...
their new weapons.
Advanced stuff.
Clearly smarter than us, all right?
And this, firmly, just foot planted deep in rectum on Earth here. And I will say they tried to make this more about the people, but we don't care about the people in this one. In Independent, I'm not going to make comparisons for the review here. I just want to say that in Independence Day from 1996, it was an ensemble cast that made Earth's defense.
Yes.
And it was highly American. They did try to go outside of the borders for this one and introduce characters. There's one brother from there's one African warlord who's like a main character, a legit dude. And also just like the primary badass. I'm like, oh, he's gonna do some badass stuff. And you hardly ever see this brother. Like he's in there for like 3 scenes to give some key information and then gone. And then he's like, oh, I guess that was it. No, he's back. Okay, cool. Now we get, where'd he go? Cool. Somebody put a lock on Kunta. Let's keep him in the room.
Goldblum in this. So what is his role in this movie?
His role is exactly the same.
So he doesn't ever like get in a ship. He doesn't fight. He's just kind of like the brains behind the whole thing.
Strategizes the whole thing.
Since the last invasion, Goldblum is the guy that's been trying to get our military up to snuff if the aliens ever come back.
Right, because he's the one super smart, and this is
he's the one that saved the world with a MacBook.
Well, this is the one of the movies that uses the great genre trope where every time you want to let someone know that the character is smart, you're like, oh man, and he spent all that time because you went to MIT. Just saying he went to MIT is like, oh, this guy can obviously genius. He can hack the server for the whole alien race and stuff and bring all their weapons down. He went to MIT. He spent a semester at MIT or something like that.
He took a summer class. He got this.
Right. Like, he was good enough to go there, but that's like
he stopped on the campus to ask directions, right? He knows
that's that one line of dialogue that you drop into a movie to let someone know that they're really smart. Like, okay, I believe
there was no counterpart to Jeff Goldblum. He was the main smart guy again in this movie. Judd Hirsch returns. Yeah, Judd Hirsch returns. Bill Pullman returns.
Okay,
Brent Spiner who we saw die on screen.
Was that
is alive.
the scientist
That was the
from Area
scientist.
51? Okay, yeah. Like, wow, we don't get much visitors down here. You know, he's shaking the president's hand. That guy, yeah.
It's unfortunate. This movie had a lot of promise, surprisingly.
Well, just
Really?
seems like-
Well, because
Really?
okay, I said promise. I didn't say it was a good idea from the
you're right.
jump.
I
But
think
once
I hear what you're
saw-
saying because it just seems very unnecessary movie.
Yes, very much.
It's like
so.
I don't see the point, but yeah.
But you look at the cast, and it seemed at the very least like they were going with enough different people and enough variation that, okay, at the very least, nobody called for this. Nobody really wanted this. It's an obvious cash grab, but it's a cash grab that they're trying to do right.
Right.
You know, some of the cast in this, they've got Liam Hemsworth. They brought back Jeff Goldblum. They brought back a lot. Some of the
Is
original
Roland
cast.
Emmerich directed it too, right?
Roland Emmerich,
so
yeah.
the original director, you know what I mean? And you got to think he just blows everything up. That's like his forte. Was this guy directed every movie that blows up? What do you got here?
What's
Yeah,
that?
did they handle Will Smith's absence in a cool way, dude? Or
Yes, they showed a picture of him and said, "We miss him, don't we?" Yes, we do. And he's gone.
no way!
Wow.
Come
Yeah.
on.
Was it straight Lisa Bonet picture?
Yeah.
Like the Cosby Show.
It pretty much was. Now the
You know what I would have said to
storyline-
that too? Yeah, I miss him too because he hasn't done much good stuff in a long time.
No, but he wanted. I found
I
out the
miss Will
backstory there as to why Will Smith was not in the story. He was originally supposed to be.
Right.
He wanted $50 million for 2 sequels.
$50 million?
And they were like, "This is Independence Day. Pff, we'll make our money back." How's that working out?
Yeah, but how much better would this movie have been? Like,
A lot better.
Oh,
really?
A lot
Will
better.
Smith's good,
Come on,
man.
bro. Really?
I love the original.
Liam
Why does
Hemsworth
Will Smith need
is the
$50 million?
primary military presence in this movie. Tell me Will Smith wouldn't be better than him.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, you got that, but I'm sitting here like, listen, the first off, the movie was a standalone movie to begin with.
Yeah,
There's no one should even thought about having a sequel to this. Like,
Right,
really?
exactly.
I mean, you can't go any deeper than that. So part of me's like, would the cost benefit analysis really have worked out for them to shell out all that money for Will Smith for them to probably
I think
gross
so.
maybe a little bit more than what they are going to gross anyway?
I think it would have had better legs. I thought more people would go out to see it longer. You know what I mean? Like if you miss this on the opening weekend, you're probably not going to go week 2 or 3. You're just going to be like, whatever, it's not that good.
Well,
You know
if
what I
this
mean?
was
But if it's like a Will
2001
Smith movie, he still does sell movies. People still do want to
Fair
show
enough.
up. So so I would probably be more apt to go see this thing if he was in it. You
Say
know
he
what I
sell
mean?
movies,
I'm
but he don't
not
win
gonna watch
Oscars.
it.
You can kind of judge the quality of a movie to see who of a sequel to see who comes back to do it though.
And I agree. And you're right. I'm probably more apt to go see it if he was in it.
Yeah.
Like free
See,
pass back day. I might be willing to go see it if he's in it.
And
I
I
tell you
do-
right now, I have zero desire to go see it
And
right
I
now,
do. I
purely
was
because he's not in it. So you
joking
got
about
that.
Goldblum, but I do actually really like Jeff Goldblum. I will
Me
go
too.
see his movie.
Yeah,
I'm not jumping out to see it.
Big fan of Gold. Big fan of Gold.
Me too.
Bloom.
The unfortunate thing is this movie introduces characters that we knew, that we liked, and then kind of dispatches them quickly. So it seemed to me for a while that they were trying to say, let's not harp on the past and focus on the original movie this was based off of. Let's focus on the new cast and their stories, which was cool since there's been so many times between movies, that would have been a smart thing to do, but they got rid of them kind of callously. They gave them a quick moment, then they were out. Will Smith is an afterthought. Vivica Fox is back. We see, she's actually done some good stuff. She's made something of herself. She's out. I won't say how. That's a spoiler. But the
How's she
primary
look, though?
characters,
How she look?
surprisingly,
Yeah, how she look?
good. And
cool.
that's really saying something, because if you saw Sharknado 3, and
Yeah, I missed that
Yeah.
one. Sorry.
Me too.
she has done a lot of work on herself in the
Hey, go
past.
ahead. She's still fine. She want to be. Go ahead.
All right. Well, Bill Pullman plays an interesting role. They do a nice little tribute to Robert Loggia in this one, who's passed.
Yeah, he was like the general, right? Or
Yeah. Well, how do you mean he was like the general? He was the. This was Robert Loggia.
Robert Loggia.
Robert Loggia. All right. Not to harp too much on the bad stuff. I mentioned this. The effects, amazing, mind blowing. The story in itself is it seems slapdash and put together. And I read up on it, and it's apparently the original script that was given to Dean Devlin after the success of the first Independence Day. They wanted a sequel right away. And the studio gave him the money. He wrote the script and then felt it wasn't up to the quality of the first movie. It would have been a bad sequel. It would have been kind of half-assed. So he shelved the script, gave them back their money, and went about his business. 20 years later, he broke out that same script.
20 years later, that script's good now.
Yeah.
What?
Let me just a cobweb.
There's a point to be made
this.
somewhere about that, but we don't have time.
When you need that check, that's the point we're making. Well,
it's about quality, you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't good enough back then, but now people will watch anything.
Is that the quantity that's in my bank account that matters?
There's one tremendous plot hole that I can point out right off the bat that really makes that just kind of ridiculous. The original movie posed the aliens as kind of a locust-like species. They move to different societies, all of them in the big mothership, and then they take over, they collect resources, and they move on. In this one, no, there's a giant alien civilization somewhere, and these are the hive drones with their own individual queen that go to different places. And Earth is just one of several hundreds of places where they've gone to, and Earth is the only place where they went to and got sunned. So it's like they've got other hives elsewhere still collecting resources and siphoning cores, and Earth is the one where they're like, nah, no one does this to us. No one ruins our perfect record. Our kills
this time
our
it's
perfect
personal.
season. And this time it was personal. They came back in full force. They literally just belly flopped onto Earth and then started drilling into the cores. It was like Man of Steel all over again.
I get you.
Yeah. And where they tried to make it seem like this was more of a joint world effort, not just the Americans saving the world like it was an Independence Day. It was done kind of half-assed because the approach was, it starts off with the Chinese first seeing the aliens coming to Earth and then gone. Like, we're introduced to some Chinese military, and like, okay, cool. So it's going to start with them, and they're going to be the ones to bring Newt. Nope, they're all dead. Okay, cool. Well, then how about these Russians that are in the middle of the... Oh, no, they're all dead. Okay, there goes Judd Hirsch. Okay, he's going to die because he's old. And everything that they could have done that would have been predictable but awesome, they didn't do. And the movie itself was predictable but lame. I can't say I didn't enjoy this because, again, the special effects were dope. But this was all special effects. I would have been perfectly happily renting this on Netflix for like $2 and just watching it in the comfort of my living room.
I got you.
I didn't need to go to a theater. You don't need to see it in 3D. You don't need to see it in IMAX. You don't need to see it in any like major format. I will say at the very least, it does give a bit of nostalgic, I won't say closure, but it'll twang on those little where you wonder what became of these characters. Because Bill Pullman, did he succeed? Brent Spiner, did he get a decent burial? Will Smith, did he happily get married and stuff? You know what? Honestly, it's just, if you want a continuation of that story, this has Ocean's 12 syndrome. It took a story that, wrapped up neatly and was cool and kind of reopened old wounds. Dude. So I would not recommend this.
Right. Do you think anyone born between the last 20 years in between, dude, would like go back and see the first one?
Absolutely not. Especially not from this direct. The only thing I can call out is, you remember how we liked Harry Connick Jr. in the first one and they killed him off with no respect?
Yeah.
Nobody? Okay, thank you.
I remember.
Somebody remembers that. All right, well, they kind of did that too in this movie. They stepped up William Fichtner and made him like the general character, and we like him. He handled business, even though he doesn't get much screen time. And then I will have to call out Dikembe Umbutu. That was the brother. And then Nicholas Wright as Floyd Rosenberg. That's pretty much it. There's not much else in this movie. I'd say pass on it unless you're a really hardcore fan. And if so, wait for a matinee.